It is so despicable. It's not something that you can even be able to. You can't. It's not something that you can even allow yourself to say out of your mouth because It's so
Wow.
abominable to the extent that you can't even talk about it. That's
Wow.
what I'm saying. I'm gonna put it in a book to really voice it out. It gotta be in a book. You know? Yeah.
We are
Hello,
all here.
everyone.
Raj, let me say something.
Hello,
This is a safe
hello.
space, okay? Welcome in. How are
Hey,
you?
how are you?
I'm
Welcome
good.
into
I'm
the community.
good.
Yeah, welcome into the community. This is a safe space. We try to create awareness and uplift one another. So it's
Yeah.
not, we are
Mm-hmm.
not here to judge anybody. We all make
Okay.
mistakes, but we are just here to support one another and just
Mm.
sympathize with one another because I've come to realize that it's not when you feel you are going through the worst, another person is more worse than yours.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
why we are here. Okay? So feel free. Flo, welcome back. Long time, my darling.
Long time, my sister. Sorry, I've been working so hard.
I know, right? Welcome. Samara, welcome in. So go ahead, my love. If you have anything to say, just
Can you
go ahead.
go over the subject again? Sorry, I'm listening to you while I'm
Who, me?
picking up my. Yeah, like what are
Oh,
you? Your
we were
topic.
talking about cheating, and how much disrespect can you take from a cheating partner, especially when it's something that is being repeated with no
Mm-hmm.
remorse. Should you stay?
And also how bad the effect of a divorce on how bad the effect of divorce have on kids. Separation, divorce. So that's one of the topic that we brought into.
Yeah.
So I can say something on both topic. For myself, I had a sneaky cheater. So he wasn't like a person that would cheat and everybody knew he was cheating. He was mostly like he might say something like he's going to work and then he's actually going to meet with somebody, or he lied to me and tell me
Oh
he's
wow.
going to study with his college friend, and then I find out later that he took a young lady out. Yeah, and then I found
Sorry,
out later, like he took a young woman out to lunch, etc. So he's a sneaky cheater. He's cheated like that for years, and I found several messages and stuff. But I think as women, I don't know where this habit comes from, but we like to cover for men. We like to cover for men's
Yes.
Yeah.
behavior,
You're right,
Yes.
100%.
and a lot of
Yes,
time I
sister.
knew what my I'm still legally trying to get him divorced, but he's not signing the divorce paper. He's been served several times, even though, we both moved on with our life. But the funny thing is that I didn't want to deal with the shame at the time. So I really was not telling people what's going on. And so because I'm an outspoken person, whenever we would have problems, people just really thought that, oh, I was just picking on him. He's such a good guy. He's the funny guy. He's the one that nobody looks at like he does anything. So at the end of the day, when I came out to say, hey, you know what, this man has been cheating on me since when I first started dating him. I was 14, he was 15. We were in high school. Maybe about 3 months into us, like, having that little puppy love, he was already talking to plenty of other girls. So it's not something that I was surprised by or something that I didn't know. I just never really voiced out or spoke out about it because I didn't feel like it was necessary, and it's not people's business. But I think at the same time, when you realize that you sat through something for so many years and now you're being attacked like you're the one that did that situation, it's quite hurtful. Like for me, for instance, like I told you before, Gamma, I didn't go out and tell a lot of people because I didn't want to embarrass my family. I wanted to try really hard for my marriage to work because we have children together. But at the end of the day, it feels as if though I spoke out too late, because now the script has been flipped, that I'm the one that has been cheating. I am the one that has been cheating on him for years, which is not true, but it's okay. And so I think a lot of that I take accountability now, because it's like, damn, you shield this person from everything, and now everybody is looking at me like I'm wrong. I could say, like, the other day I got a phone call. African people, they like to talk because everything, every small thing, somebody knows about it. And whenever you're in an abusive relationship or abusive marriage, your image will be tarnished regardless whether you speak out or you don't. I was able to get the courage the other day to really go on Facebook and just write out exactly what happened to me, and even down to the reason why I have a protection of abuse on my ex-husband. And a lot of people didn't know that I had 2 protection of abuse order on him. It wasn't just one, and it was based off of abuse that was witnessed by other people too, you know. And so I got the courage to tell my story, and a lot of people had a complete different story from what I was voicing out. And they say, oh, we are sorry, we didn't know you was going through this, we didn't know you was going through that, and why didn't you speak out, and what's making you speak out now? So that
Wow.
yeah, a lot of people ask me that, like, oh, why are you speaking out now, and et cetera, et cetera. And I say, you know what, I think now as I've gotten older and I'm seeing the trauma that I've caused my children too, I have to take accountability, because I feel as if though, you know, you're a woman and you know you're going through stuff and you want to make your marriage work, but you never looked at your kids to see how they are traumatized when somebody's shouting at you, or when somebody's calling you out of your name, you know, B word, this word, for simply not agreeing with what it is that they want to do, or you not accepting them being out until 3 a.m. when you know for a fact they're lying to you about going to work, and they're out with their friends, going to strip club and all this. Because, you know, to African people, cheating has to be always physical. And I feel as though if you're married, cheating does not have to be physical. If you're taking other women to dinner and you're married, you've been married for 10 plus years, that is cheating. That is cheating. And I don't know why a lot of African men get a pass for certain things, but I you know, I had to take accountability for that part, and just I said, you know what, I need to be able to speak out. Sometimes we do have to speak out, and I need to be able to defend myself. And I learned to do that this past weekend, because I was quite hurt when I heard from this young lady. It's a young lady that we went to church together, and I didn't know that my husband was walking around still, you know, telling his own side of the story, which is fine with me. Tell your side of the story, but he was dragging it instead of him being the one to say, you know what, I messed up and I chose other people over my family. It is not my fault. Oh, I didn't want the family to begin with. Oh, I did this, I did that. I had a problem with his mom. I had a problem with the people that was condoning the behavior. I had a problem with the people that, you know, called us family. My kids called them aunties and uncle. And at the end of the day, when they saw him do something wrong, they did not correct him. You know, they are the ones that, oh, come on, let's go out. You know, the man has family. You know, the man has children, but you're asking him to go to the strip club because you yourself, you don't care about your marriage. So you you help somebody else to spoil their own. So that part there, I think we just fell in the marriage aspect of it. I to some extent now, I can never be convinced that a lot of African homes are truly like happy marriage. Their marriage is truly a happy marriage, because we are taught to hide so much crap, you know.
Yep.
And on that part, on the other part, when it comes to custody and, you know, going to divorce affect African children like no other. I think it's just from the way that we lie to our kids. Our kids see us get battered and, you know, being spoken to like trash, and, oh, you can be tired all day, you go to work, come back, why you didn't cook, you're a lazy woman, you're this and that. And for the first time in my life, being an African woman, I've seek to do therapy with my children, because about a month ago we went to therapy, and my son told me that, oh, mom, you know, since I seen you and dad fighting, that I've been wanting to kill myself. I don't want to be here, you know. Previous to us going through divorce, my children had lost their uncle, and one of the uncle was the one that used to stay with my son a lot, so it was a close uncle to him. And I knew that at the time when my son was grieving, I asked his father, I said, you know what, hey, can you please ask your mom not to take my child to the cemetery, because it brings back some, you know, some memories. And what are you talking about? This is my family. You know what? When the kids are with you, they can do whatever they want. I can do whatever I want, etc. The story went on and on until my son now said, you know, I originally was suicidal when my uncle died. But then after you and dad got in a divorce and dad tried to attack you in the parking lot for my sister's surgery, I wanted to kill myself then, because I felt like you guys were fighting over me. And like, you know, when you're doing child exchange, so every time we've done child exchange, there's always been some sort of drama, especially on his end. And it's for the simple fact that African men, they don't like to lose control. Like, even if you're divorcing them or you just separated, let's say, okay, for instance, in this country here, if you're not getting along, you have the right to separate. And it's just till you come to an understanding. Either you want counseling or not. And 95% of African men don't want counseling, no matter how you beg them. And the reason why they don't want it is because they feel like they're talking to people about their problems. But then when you walk away from them because of their behavior and you're tired of it, you're not their mother and you don't want to deal with it, then they begin to attack you. So when we do exchange, the man always has an issue. If I'm 3 minutes late, that man will leave me with the children for the weekend. And then I will be forced to keep the kids and not show up to work, or either sometimes I've lost my job. So you know what I did? I went to court and I say, my son is suicidal. I cannot have an inconsistent father. He's always been like that. I think a lot of us African moms can say that we've raised our kids by ourselves, because the man is never to be found. Where did they go? Oh, we're going to work. When they come back from work, what do? They cock their feet up. They're watching their show, their basketball, their what? And we are the ones running our children around. So technically, I raised my kids on my own. And for my son to tell me that he's suicidal, I had to do something about it. I got him the counseling, and I went to the court and I said, I'm not trying to stop him from seeing his father. But at the end of the day, my kids are traumatized, not only from my divorce, but other family things that have happened. And I don't think this man looks at it from that side. His only goal is just to hurt me. That's just it. His only goal is to hurt me. And in the midst of it, our kids are the ones that are suffering from that. Because what do they want? They want mom and dad, but they don't understand that it has to be a healthy environment. It has to be a healthy environment. If I'm going to exchange with you and I'm telling you, hey, it's snowing, can you please wait for me? Let me bring the kids. And then you tell me, if you don't come in 3 minutes, I'm leaving. Then you dash yourself from there. Now I'm stuck with the kids. Then the weekend after that, you will now call me and say, why are you not bringing the kids to the location? Because I'm not in charge of traffic. I'm not God. So I'm not going to kill myself and the children on the road to make it to you.